In many South African homes, you'll find a snapshot album, a record of past happy times. Most numerous inclusions are pictures of children. These samples are typical. Not very good photographically, perhaps, but these photos are specially precious. You see, each of these children was healthy and normal until a family's happiness was shattered by poliomyelitis. Many children contract polio without even knowing it. They're out of sorts for a short while and recover with no after effects except immunity from further attacks. They're the lucky ones. For others, there are weeks of spasmodic pain followed by paralysis. Paralyzed nerves, if not destroyed completely, must be patiently coaxed back to life. Muscles must be exercised, perhaps conditioned to take over the work of other muscles that will never function again. Sometimes, for years after being discharged, patients must return regularly for further therapy. Unlike other diseases, the aftermaths of polio endure, sometimes permanently. Although often referred to as infantile paralysis, the disease attacks adults, rendering them unable to support themselves or their families. Take these circumstances into consideration, it isn't surprising that they often become subject to almost unbearable depression. Polio is a virus disease, and during an epidemic, the virus can usually be found in sewage. Paradoxically, it's in communities and houses that enjoy the best hygiene facilities that polio hits hardest. In South Africa, most natives have had a minor attack in childhood, rendering them immune. So for every native child seriously affected, 4 European children endure its paralyzing torture. The problems of tracing the sources of infection of polio and compiling statistics are enormous and involve vast expense. Working with insufficient funds and facilities, South African research workers carry on their investigations. Attempts are being made to produce a protective vaccine, but the polio virus will only multiply in the motor nerve cells of the central nervous system. If a substitute could be found for natural nerve tissue to culture the virus, the disease could probably be licked. £500,000 is urgently required to meet the crippling challenge. It sounds a lot, but regarded in terms of human suffering, of twisted limbs and broken lives, is it too much to ask of us? Can't we, as individuals, match the courage of the stricken with a generosity just as great?